Okay, guys, so this is the second point for the whole series on Stalin's rise to power. Remember, there are 3 points. One of them is the non-disclosure, right? Today we are going to look at Trotsky's unpopularity. And finally, we are going to look at Stalin's manipulations. Okay, now, if you look at it, I'm going to change my font color. If you think about it, we can break it down like that. Who is responsible for Stalin's manipulations? This is the Stalin himself factor. Okay, Trotsky is important because he's the main competitor. And we are going to see that Stalin does many things about him. But this also, the non-disclosure of Lenin's testament, what is the root cause behind it? Stalin here is not the driving force, but it is the rest of the Central Executive Committee. Okay, so we look at it, already we can see that the weight of responsibility for 2 points falls on Stalin himself. Okay, so now we are going to look at Stalin versus Trotsky. The main point that I want to make from this factor is that Stalin, okay, will make himself seem much more appealing compared to Trotsky, and therefore this will lead to more support for Stalin, less for Trotsky. So far so good. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. Now, what is so important about Trotsky, okay, is that Trotsky was seen as the best candidate, okay? He is like Lenin's right-hand man, okay? And not only that, he is the supporter of the Red Army, okay? What this means is that he is popular and effective. He's not just popular within the party, but he's popular with the people. Why? Because he's the one who led them to victory in the Russian Civil War, okay? And the fact that he has the support of the army means that he has actual influence, okay? So we put it together, it seems natural that if I am capable, if Lenin said that I am the one who should take over and I have the support of the people, I have the support of the army, it seems natural that I should take over. And this is all why Stalin would want to bring Trotsky down. Because Trotsky represents the greatest threat. Okay, Trotsky. Okay, he becomes Stalin's greatest obstacle, shall we say that? His greatest political competitor. Okay, and so to Stalin, he needs to remove Trotsky from the scene. Okay. So one thing we see about Trotsky is also that he is very outspoken, that he always criticizes the Communist Party. So think about it, Stalin can probably use this against him, okay? So let's have a look. Now, firstly, you see, the man himself is he's brilliant, right? He's a great leader, he has military credentials, but what do we see, okay? There is a direct match, right? If he's so good and he's Lenin's right-hand man, similar to what we saw about the non-disclosure of Lenin's testament, is that other people will be jealous of him, which means Stalin can use this against Trotsky. Okay, he's supported by, he seemed like a threat as perceived by the other leaders, okay? And the fact that he keeps criticizing party policy. Now, let's just put it this way. Criticism is good because it highlights what can be improved on. However, if you are inclined to do so, you could see it as a form of disloyalty, because it's like, why do you keep criticizing your own party? Okay, and shall we say that Trotsky's political views is that he wanted this global communist revolution, which basically means that communism is for the whole world. Which actually is true to the spirit, the original spirit of Marxist communism. Okay, but of course, you could spin this as he does not care about the Soviet Union. He just wants to advance communism for everybody else. So you can see how Trotsky is easily portrayed as somebody who is not truly invested in the Soviet Union. Okay, and that is why Soviet leadership will be highly unhappy with him. Okay, here there's a new word, espoused. Espoused means something like preached, okay, believed in. Okay, so basically Trotsky is not popular with the rest of the communist leaders, okay? And when you put all these things together, Maverick is somebody who goes his own way. He insists on his own way. Okay, so what we see is that when we have this, okay, his unpopularity, okay, means that he lacks support. And if he lacks support, what does it mean? He cannot contest with Stalin, right? And which would mean that as Stalin's star is on the rise, Trotsky is on the decline. Okay, and that is why Stalin is able to come to power, because the best possible candidate to take over, while a strong candidate, was not, unlike Stalin, was not as manipulative. Okay, and that is why Stalin is coming to power, because he's taking advantage of the situation with Trotsky. Okay, and that is we will see this in 3A when we are talking about what Stalin did as the chief mourner. Okay, here I must make a note that it is important to know the examples of how Stalin shot Trotsky down. Okay, but here we are talking about how generally Trotsky is disliked by the rest. Okay, so food for thought. Is this more important, or is the non-disclosure of Lenin's testament more important? Okay, so just remember to watch the last one, which will include the conclusion. Okay.